little bit of a nudge there. Naughty, naughty. Have to get my elbows out a little bit. Go defensive. It's Colonel Red Eye behind us. The guy we're pretty much contesting second place with. Not only on the track, but also in the standings. What's going on, guys? My name's Matilio and welcome back to Project Cars 2 and the 10th and final round of the WSRC Group A Touring Car Championships. And this week, as you can see, it ends where it began. We started the season 10 weeks ago at the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, and this time we're finishing it at the Brands Hatch GP Circuit, so it should be a fun race. Before we jump into the video proper though, apologies, there's been a distinct lack of content for the last week or so. If you follow me on Twitter and Facebook, you'll know that last Monday, after this race actually, I went to plug in my laptop charger and the extension lead exploded. Took the plug with it and almost my hand as well, got electrocuted. It flung it straight up into the air, or flung it to the underside of my desk, which is a very hard desk. So yeah, and that's the only plug on this side of the room, so I didn't have anywhere to plug in my stuff or anything like that. So no computer, no PS4, no monitor, TV, Sky, nothing. All I've had is a laptop and a phone. And that's all I've had, so I've not been able to do any videos, so apologies for that. But it's all been fixed now. It's fixed yesterday. Guys from Glenfield Electrical, I tweeted them yesterday, or I tweeted and tagged them in it. They came around and fixed it. Reasonably priced and very, very quick service, so thank you for that. Don't think they're watching, but thank you anyway. So yeah, we're back in business. So, final round of the season. Still a lot to decide, of course. It's going to be 20 laps. It's going to be a tough race, but before we jump into the race itself, let's go and take a look and see how myself and everybody else got on in qualifying. So, on to qualifying, and this was one of my better qualifying sessions, I felt. I felt a lot more comfortable in the car. It wasn't like I was fighting anything. I had quite a bit of practice time to get the car where I wanted it. Admittedly, Brands Hatch isn't one of my favourite circuits. There are other ones I would have favoured apart from this, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. There were a couple of tricky areas, like through here, Druids. The way I had the gearing, where I was comfortable throughout the majority of the lap, it was just there, which it was struggling just a little bit, because I could do it in second or third, so it wasn't entirely happy or where I wanted it in either gear, so it was just, you know, as and when, you know, depending on how you want to take it, really. Also through here, as you can see, we're going to get a little bit of oversteer. There was still a hint of it in the car, and I did try and dial it out, but then I found I was getting more understeer, and it was just, I don't know, it just wasn't responsive. You do need quite a responsive car through here. I think this is somewhere where you'd prefer to have maybe a little bit of oversteer than you would understeer, or at least I would anyway. But yeah, like I said, overall practice was good, and the car was pretty much where I wanted it, where I needed it. The times weren't too far off in terms of practice. There was still a little bit of a disconnect between the two, of course, as there always is. But I felt comfortable in the car, and that was the most important. You know, I'd prefer to, rather than just be outright fast, I would just rather be comfortable in the car so I could be consistent, and I definitely had that here in this one. But as we come through the final corner and onto the start-finish straight, this curved and long start-finish straight, it's going to be a time of 1:34.330, which at that particular point put us in second place. However, come the end of qualifying, unfortunately, we were all the way down in fourth. So there's a few surprise names up there if we take a look. So Popeye, not really surprising that he's in pole position there, a 1:32.6, absolutely blew everybody out of the water pretty much by nearly a full-blown second. Then we got Silverwolf in second place, him carrying on what was a very good qualifying last time out at Silverstone National. He seems to have figured out that skyline, so he'll start second today. Then we've got Twisted Tyre Fit with the Cosworth. He's struggled all season with it. It's a bit of a It's a bit of a pain in the backside to drive that car, but he's done very, very well to get into third today. Then we've got ourselves in fourth, obviously. Then we've got Colonel Redeye in fifth, the guy we're fighting with for second place. Then we've got Matt Jeffrey in sixth place, and Matt Jeffrey and Colonel Redeye are fighting for third place as well. So Colonel Redeye's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place there. He's trying to beat me, but also trying to stave off Matt Jeffrey as well. So that should be an interesting race. Then we got Mitch on the fourth row in his BMW. You've got Atreus for company there, and then we've got Tom. As you can see, there were quite a few people missing. I think a lot of them had work commitments and couldn't make the final race, so that was disappointing. But yeah, so there's your starting grid, just the 9 of us. One of the smaller starting grids we've had for the season, I think. But take a look at the actual standings. And as you can see, Popo, as we already know, is the champion. He can't be caught now. He won that at the end of the last race at Silverstone National. Then we've got ourselves in second place on 137 points, 22 points ahead of Colonel Redeye. So while it's a slim chance that he could catch us, there's still a chance. If we DNF like we did in Bannockbrae, we could lose that second place. And of course, Colonel Redeye on 115 points. Peo, who isn't here, unfortunately, for this race on 103. So it looks like he'll be finishing possibly 5th unless Matt Jeffrey DNFs. Matt Jeffrey on 99 points, so he's still, like I said, kind of like with myself and Colonel Redeye, he has a chance of getting 3rd, but it's a slim chance, and he's going to need some things to happen in the race to Colonel Redeye in order for that to happen. Then we've got Silverwolf, who's sitting on the front row with his best qualifying. He is in 6th place at the minute. Then we've got Mitch on 68, Twisted Tyre Fitter on 64, Tom on 62. They're all here, so that could be an interesting fight for what would be 6th place. Then we've got Atreus on 55, Devil Dog, who isn't here, on 49, BMC on 41, who isn't here, Laz, who isn't here, on 29, Hot Shot Kev, who isn't here, on 24, Jerry Glenn, who isn't here, on 10, and Alpha Baroque, who we've only seen for one qualifying session, which was aborted. So there we go. So yeah, it's going to be a 20-lap race. Mandatory pit stops, of course. The weather is nice throughout, so we don't have to worry about rain or any of that nonsense. So yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to head down to the grid and get the final race of the season underway. And let's see if we can't end it with a bang. So let's do it. Okay then, guys, here we go. Final race of the season. Oh, I've got a rapid start there. And Silverwolf also got a brilliant start as well. Running wide. Struggle with that corner there. Get my braking zone right. A little bit of a nudge there. Naughty, naughty. Have to get my elbows out a little bit. Go defensive. It's Colonel Redeye behind us. The guy we're pretty much contesting second place with. Not only on the track, but also in the standings. There we we got a good exit there, but Silverwater's gone. And I have no idea what happened to Popeye. He had a terrible jump off the start, and he fell all the way down into 6th place at the minute. Silverwolf seems to have figured out that skyline after last week, where he had a very good qualifying. He's repeated it this time around. Well, that was garbage, Matt, you moron. I would have shut the door firmly on him there. And we've got a 1 second time penalty already. Okay, the red eye might be able to have a run on us this time. Got a terrible run out of that corner. Got a much better one through this one. Let's give us a little bit of breathing space. And the fronts are starting to go off now. This thing just does not want to get around that corner. Again, I have to go defensive. Might have to think about coming down to second. For Druids. Yeah, and Silverwolf is pretty much out of sight. Are you kidding me for that? And that's a 2 second time penalty. Absolutely bloody hate that corner. Should have never reprofiled it. It was lovely before. It was lovely sweeping downhill bend. And that was bloody horrible. Okay then. So we're going to be coming at the end of this lap. I pretty much had to let Colonel Red Eye close right up to the back of us, because slowing down for that stupid penalty. And that means Silverwolf has got away a bit more. And there's a pit notification. Okay then. So it's going to be tyres and fuel. So we're going to put about 8 laps of fuel in and a brand new set of tyres, and then we're just going to have a sprint to the finish. And hopefully, seeing as we've pitted in front of Colonel Red Eye, hopefully we can get a bit of an undercut going. No repairs that need to be done. And the tyres are on. Drop me and let's go.
All clear. Go, go, go.
Pretty okay stop. You've got more coming in there, as you just saw. Yeah, let's just hope we can maybe get a bit of an undercut. The big question is, Colonel Red Eye is in the pits, so I'm about to ask, what are his tyres looking like, if he's going to keep going? Imagine this might be close. I can see him moving up the pit road now. We retake second place, and the undercut seems to have worked because we've got a fairly big gap. Of course, he will need maybe a lap or so just to get them up to racing temps. Now we've got Tom to negotiate. Thank you, bro. Now what we have to do though is we have to maintain and extend. We've got that 2-second penalty to come to us. We are starting to reel in Silverwolf a little bit. Again, I don't know if he's had a problem somewhere and he's just dropped off briefly, or if this is me catching up to him. I think it would be the former. Yeah, I just don't know where his pace has come from. It seemed to just all click for him last week and he's carried it on. We've got about 5-second gap to Colonel Red Eye behind, so we should be okay there, barring an absolute disaster. See, I'm wondering if it's if Silverwolf is taken easy after what happened last week, where he ran out of fuel, just trying to eke it out a little bit just to make sure. I think at this point he'd probably know if he weren't going to make it, but We'll see. Oh, I thought that was Silverwolf then. Oh my god, I almost had a heart attack. Well, it's been a decent race. We started 4th, we finished 2nd. And like I said, Silverwolf, very good, so good. He was on it last week, I couldn't catch him. And he was on it again this week, and he didn't run out of fuel, despite my wishing he would. And like I said, when I came through that first corner, I saw a flash of red, and I thought, you know, in the dust, and I thought, as he just binned it into that gravel on the outside of the last corner and handed me the win. But he didn't, so that's good. He gets his first win of the season. And yeah, it was an enjoyable race. You know, without the pressure of having to try and compete with Popeye, who I don't know what happened to him. I think maybe just relaxing and sandbagging around and just saying, you know, I've won it. I don't need to prove anything else. You guys go on and have your fun. But either way, it was a fun race. Like I said, no pressure, and we got a podium out of it. So I think that was the best we could have hoped for today. But yes, what we're going to do now is we're going to hand over to the other Mattino for the post-race analysis. So there you have it then, guys. The 10th and final round of the season in the books, and a pretty good race for ourselves, I'd say. It was very enjoyable. Colonel Red Eye kept us honest through the first part of it, and then the second part, I think the undercut worked, and it gave us that little bit of breathing space to just extend and escape there. But yeah, so pretty enjoyable race from my perspective. Looking at the rest of the standings though, and as we know, Silverwolf gets his first win of the season, so very well done to him. He did do it on wet tyres, so that's maybe that Project Cars needs to look at and patch, because it seems weird that that you're faster on wet tyres on a dry track than you are on dry tyres on a dry track, but there we go. Got him his first win, so well done to him. Ourselves in second place, of course. Colonel Red Eye in third. We've got Matt Jeffrey in fourth place. Atreus had a good race. He came from the back to finish fifth. Then we've got Popeye in sixth. As we mentioned, he was kind of sandbagging, I think. He still got the fastest lap of the race, but he didn't have anything else to prove or race for, so he finishes in sixth place. Then we've got Mitch in seventh. Twisted Tyre Fitter, very good qualifying, but disappointing race for him. I think we'd agree. He definitely showed he has the speed, but that Cosworth is a bit of a beast to drive. So, but hopefully that qualifying and the pace he showed should see him in good stead for next season. And then we got Tom rounded things out in ninth place. And what that does for the end of season standings, of course, is as we know, Popeye has already declared as champion. We know that already. Myself, I cement second place. Colonel Red Eye cements third place there. Then we've got Matt Jeffrey, who just pipped Peo at the last because Peo wasn't here, unfortunately. But it would have been very close regardless with those two on the same racetrack. I think they would have been very closely fighting for that fourth place. We've got Silverwolf, who cements sixth place with that win today. We've got Mitch on 77, Twisted Tyre Fitter on 72, Tom on 69, and Atreus on 66 there. And that basically rounds out the guys who are racing pretty much. None of the other ones, Devil Dog, BMC, Laz, Hotshot Kerb, Cherry Glen, Alpha Brook, none of those guys were actually participating in the final race of the season. But yeah, guys, that is the end of the episode and the end of the season. So, next time out, there's still one more video to come regarding this season. It's going to be like an end of season like montage of the best bits and so on, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, the new season will start mid-May. I'm not sure. I think it's the 14th or 15th. I'm not quite sure of the dates yet, but at the moment it's looking like I'll be in Division 2. They did put me in Division 1, but for a number of reasons. One, I think there are faster guys that are a bit more deserving to go into Division 1. Devil Dog, I think you have to say, is one of them. And the other reasons is I want to win Division 2 before I go up. I'm very adamant about that. I want to win Division 2 before I go up. And the other thing is I'm still a bit umming and ahhing about next season because I've got a problem with my knee which restricts me from racing for very long periods, and the first 3 races look like they're going to be double headers, so I'm a little bit unsure. I'm fairly certain I will race, but it's just about how I do that. Towards the back end of this race I was having to do everything with my right foot because my left leg was, you know, my knee primarily was really starting to hurt, so I'll see how it goes. But if I do race, it's going to be in Division 2, and hopefully we can pick up where we left off and hopefully win it next season if we do participate. But yeah, that's the end of this episode and the end of the season, guys. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy, would like to see more Project Cars 2 or just general racing content from myself, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you want to get involved with the guys from the Weekly Sim Racing Championships, they are accepting sign-ups for Season 3 of the Monday Night Touring Car stuff. So if you want to get involved, there is a link in the description to their Facebook group. Just sign up, you know, join the group, tell them Matilio sent you, and get yourself signed up, and they'll find you a place in Division 2 or maybe even Division 3 depending on the numbers. But yeah, that's the end of today's video, the end of the season. So again, thank you everybody so much for watching. Stay cool, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace!